Here we're going to have a test of CCA wire versus pure copper wire. We're going to be running 70 amp power supply, which is the limit of a 18-foot run of 8 gauge copper wire, but is not the limit of 8 gauge CCA wire. But a lot of times people use CCA wire in place of copper, and we're going to show you what happens when you do that. We're running it through a 125 amp resistor. So we're limited by the power supply, not by the resistor. We will only be pushing 70 amps through this setup. As soon as we plug in the power supply, it will start producing full current, and we'll see how long it takes for the CCA wire, or see how long the CCA wire can hold up during the test. Throughout the test, we'll be taking temperature measurements of each wire to show that once the copper wire reaches a plateau, it will basically stay at a current constant temperature, while the CCA wire, the resistance will increase, and it will continue to get hotter and hotter and hotter until failure. Again, the resistor is only 125 amps, but we are limited by the 70 amp output of the power supply. So our base temperature reading is about 25 C. Starting to heat up now already. We're at 31 C. Just for example, the coil is well over 500 C, but that's irrelevant. We're already, not even a minute into the test, we're at 40 C on the CCA wire, 31 C on the copper wire. At 50 C now on the CCA wire, 52. 58, 59, 60, it's continuing to climb. The copper wire is 36 C. Quite a bit of difference already, barely into the test. Just for reference, both wires are both equal length, 18 foot of wire. They're run in and out through the coil. There's no difference in the setup for each wire, isn't treated any differently. We're now at 43 C for the copper wire and 74 C, 75 C for the CCA. We're about a 50% higher temperature already on the CCA wire. Also for reference, the rating for the jacket material is 105 C. So we're steadily approaching that only a couple minutes into the test. .47 C on the copper wire. We're at 81 C on the CCA. We're now double the temperature of the copper versus the CCA aluminum wire. Just for easier reference, we're looking at Fahrenheit reading 203 degrees, and we were at about 127 degrees on the copper wire. The CCA wire is going to start getting to a point where you can't even hold the wire. It's getting to a point where it's going to start failing. The copper wire, while warm, is easily handled. The CCA wire now is 230 degrees, and we're at about 129 degrees on the copper wire. The CCA wire is over 100 degrees difference in temperature than the CCA. Or I'm sorry, the CCA is over 100 degrees hotter than the copper wire at this point. Even though this is a single test, another problem with this is the repeated heating and expansion and cooling of the wire. It will eventually degrade the connection point as well. If you don't get it hot enough to fail the first time, you will increase the problem by repeatedly running too much current through it, cooling it off, reheating it. Now we've already exceeded the jacket 105 degree rating, so that it is starting to